Next speaker, please.
It's the JR Show from Studio 99 at the American General Media Complex. On air at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Online at KernRadio.com.
Didn't even bring in the notes because I don't need them.
Your host, JR.
Top of the day to you. This is the JR Show. I am your host, JR Flores. You're listening to Kern Radio. Check us out online at KernRadio.com. You can also find us streaming live on YouTube. That's right. Just go to YouTube and search up Kern Radio. Subscribe to the channel. You hit the notification bell, and every time we go live at 2:05, you will be notified. We're also on other social media platforms, Instagram, X, and Facebook. Just search up Kern Radio. I am also out there, JR Flores, or why not JR? Boy, do we have a great program for you lined up today. If you are familiar with the show, you can already imagine what we are going to discuss. Last night's City Council meeting. Lots of stuff on the docket. Before I get into that, let me tell you about the guests that we have coming up in about 10 minutes. You're not going to want to miss it, so tell everybody you know. Councilmember Zack Bashirtash will join us. He was one of the lone no votes on a couple of the agenda items that were voted for last night. Again, we'll get into it, but don't miss the next segment coming up with City Councilman Zack Bashirtash. Also, I've got tickets to give away still. Brunch Fest going on October 11th out at the Kern County Fairgrounds. We have a pair of tickets for you. They went on sale yesterday, so get that early bird special price. Not to be confused with the early bird show, which airs 7 to 9 on ESPN. Me and Chris are twinning today. I'll show you guys in the YouTube video later. Me and Chris, we didn't plan it, but we're wearing the same exact t-shirt. It's an early bird show t-shirt. The host, he is the host with, I almost forgot Stephen's name, Stephen Nicholas, over there on Monday through Friday on our sister station, ESPN Bakersfield, 1230 AM, 101.1 FM. But get those early bird prices on the Brunch Fest tickets. So keep listening, and we'll give them away at some point today. Like I said, in about 10 minutes or so, Councilman Zack Bashirtash will join us to discuss his vote last night. I got a couple pieces of audio that we'll play a little later in the show, two from our favorite city councilman, Andre Gonzalez, where he's just, I'm not going to call anybody names, so I'll just say I don't know what he's thinking sometimes. That's all I'll say. But we got some audio from him, as well as Miss Delores Huerta herself showed up at the meeting and got to not only speak once, but twice on two different topics. And check the length of one of the audios. It's supposed to be only a 2-minute. You only get 2 minutes. I was part of that meeting where they cut us down from 3 minutes to 2 minutes. But here, it's Delores Huerta. We're just going to let her keep on talking. She got 3 minutes. I'm not upset about it or anything. I'm just saying, if we're going to apply the rules, make sure that we apply them evenly. But you will hear from Miss Delores Huerta. What we're talking about is last night's city council meeting, where the council voted 5-2 for giving $300,000 of Measure N money to the Delores Huerta Foundation to build what they're calling their Peace and Justice Center in downtown Bakersfield. Many people, of course, as one would expect when you are the Delores Huerta Foundation, have a lot of people show up for you. And they did en masse, and the meeting went on for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. We all knew it was going to happen. They were going to vote that way, that the money was going to go. The way the council is set up right now, the makeup of the council, it's usually going to be 4-3. Surprisingly, this one was 5-2. a guest coming up in the next segment, Mr. Zack Bashirtash, voted no, as well as Mr. Ken Weir. Kind of surprised, but not really, about our guy Larry Coleman. I want to like Larry. I don't have any reason not to respect him, except for he talks a good game, but when it comes down to the vote, and we've said it many times, it's how he got the nickname on this show. Can't count on Coleman. Can't count on Coleman. He might have all the questions as, well, why are we spending this? And how is this getting done? We shouldn't be doing this. And then when the vote comes, he's the I. Yes. Now, it might not have affected the outcome of the vote and awarding $300,000 of Measure N money to the Delores Huerta Foundation. But it might make a difference in his reelection, because I don't want to say we should have voted for the other guy, because I don't technically live in that ward, but the other guy ain't looking so bad right now. Chris, do you remember who the other guy was? You don't have to say his name, but do you remember who the other guy was? It's Kevin Oliver. Almost looking better than can't count on Coleman, I'll tell you that. At least we could have expected that. The guy that ran against him would have voted the way we all hoped he would have voted. In the night where the chamber was packed, council chambers were packed, because apparently a lot of people showed up in support of dogs and spay and neuter and the pet population, which wasn't even on the docket, which kind of upsets me. Like, hey, you guys, there's a lot. I'm sorry. I love the dogs, and I'm all about spay and neuter and controlling the pet population. But we've got some bigger problems on our hand. But at the same time, I would say, if they're in here asking for money for spay and neuter, hell, I know where $300,000 is apparently. I'm sure that would cover a lot of spaying and neutering of pets, which, in my opinion, would fall under, I don't know, vital services, which that was the whole point of Measure N. Now, where the Delores Huerta Foundation for their Peace and Justice building comes into play as part of public service and vital services. Now Andre made the argument, well, this is vital services, you see. We got to hook up the building to the sewer lines, and we got to run power, and we have to put in street lights, and we have to put the sidewalk in. Those are the vital services. It's very expensive for businesses to come downtown. He made an argument at one point. This is not vital services. Not to mention, and I'm going to get in trouble for this one, some of the people that came down to support not only the Delores Huerta Foundation's Peace and Justice Center, but they also came down to support the renaming of South H to what are we calling it? At first, it was supposed to be Cesar Chavez Boulevard. Then last night, a fair-haired girl, Miss Manpreet Kaur, decided they were going to change it to Avocado, something of De Cesar Chavez. And some of the people that came down to support both of those things have a lot of money. A lot of money. I've seen their house in Seven Oaks. It's humongous. So freaking big that the governor himself comes to visit. defense lawyers that have made millions of dollars. But did either one of them step up to pay for either of these things? Did either one say, you know what? We'll cover the tab of what it's going to cost to rename South 8th Street? Did they? Hell, Delores Huerta herself, although she'll tell you differently later on when we hear the audio, is worth quite a pretty penny. Not only that, the foundation itself has quite a bit of money. We got to get to a break. I'll break down all of those facts for you. But first, we got to get to a break. Our next guest will be coming up. City Councilman Zack Bashirtash, one of 2 no votes for the $300,000 grant. Downtown revitalization. Is it Friday yet? Is it? I thought these Skittles would help. I brought in the freeze-dried Skittles, and I thought they would
I'll come steal a handful of those.
keep me cool. You want some of those?
Oh, they're like crack now. They're so good.
Freeze-dried Skittles. I've grown a liking to a lot of freeze-dried candies these days. It's a craze, I guess, that's going on, right? All right, let's get to a break. On the other side, we'll talk to City Councilman Zack Bashirtash. Coming up, it's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
Anthony Bryan, I got him. My cousins.
Weekdays from 3 till 6 p.m.
I'm telling you, this could be a fork in the road for the National League Division title. West.
Yeah, you might want to call
we got 6 games with the Padres over the next 12, 13 days, and this is a bullpen that has been ravaged. And I mean, hours. If some of the superstars don't pick it up, and some of the guys in the bottom of the lineup, at the end of the month, we go into September, we could be 5-6 games back.
On News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
What's up?
KRN.
We survived the first
All
day of
yellow.
school and almost made it through day 2. Maybe you're like me and my daughter. We like to go and celebrate the
He's
first
probably
day
going
of
to call
school.
right now.
We had dinner last night. What did we pick? KC Steakhouse, of course. She loves the steak bites. Now, that's great for me and her, but what happens at the end of the week when I want to celebrate surviving the first week of school, and let's say I want to do it kind of an adult way? That's when I head over to the Stockyard. Yeah, that's right, 2525 F Street, a little speakeasy right next
Yeah, I
door
went
to
to KC
KC
Steakhouse
Steakhouse
last
from the
night.
people that brought you KC Steakhouse. Head right next door. Now, there's no sign outside, but you'll see the carpet and the ropes. Ring the bell when they ask the password. Tell them, why not JR? You're going to walk into one of the nicest atmospheres in all of Bakersfield. Have a seat at the bar or maybe in one of the nice chairs. Order a drink from Haley and enjoy
I got the Skittles from my
environment.
cousin.
The other great thing about the Stockyard, they have a banquet room. Let's say you're not just celebrating the end of the first week of school, but you have a party or some other event. They can host
Hold tight,
that
y'all.
for you
Don't
too.
go
It's
anywhere.
all
Zack
happening
Bashirtash.
right there at the little speakeasy,
Bashirtash.
the Stockyard, 2525 F Street. Open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 6 to midnight.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly
remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness
The
Partners.
Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the JR Show.
Oh, I wish I felt good right now, but boy, after last meeting, I do not. I lack confidence in the city council, at least 5 of them, anyways. Goodness gracious. We'll get you more on that, and I'll take your text messages and comments. But we got to get to our next guest, City Councilman Zack Bashirtash, one of 2 votes last night to say no to the $300,000 grant awarded to the Delores Huerta Foundation for their Peace and Justice Center in downtown Bakersfield. Here to tell us why he voted no is Mr. Zack Bashirtash. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am doing well. I cannot complain. Still live in the best country in the world, and I'm happy to have that freedom.
Amen to that. We woke up this morning, and that's enough to be grateful for. Isn't that right, sir?
That's right. God is so good, and that's all that matters in my life.
God is good. God is good all the time. So last night wasn't so good. Councilman, you guys had a late meeting, lots to discuss, lots of things on the topic, some things that weren't on the topic that were brought up that we'll maybe get to some other time. But the big one that everybody was talking about is the $300,000 grant that was awarded to the Delores Huerta Foundation. You were one of 2 votes that voted no against that. Tell me why you voted no, sir.
2 reasons. First reason, the grant program that's set up right now only benefits areas of Bakersfield east of the 99, and it's something that all taxpayers pay into. That doesn't sit well with me. It either needs to be open because in my ward, it doesn't get any love. And if there's a struggling business or someone that wants to take one of these little dilapidated businesses that's been shut down and turned into a homeless center, and they want to turn it into a functioning business, they're not getting any reprieve from the city. And so it's either, in my opinion, and something I've talked about even outside of city council meetings with staff, is this either needs to be open to all or it needs to go away. Because if everybody's paying taxes toward this, it should be fair across the board.
That is a fair.
Not just going into.
I was gonna say that's a good point, because these buildings that we're trying to, and even vacant lots that we're trying to rebuild and revitalize, they're all over the city. This isn't just unique to downtown, and a lot of people will cry that, not just in your ward. Going up to the east side, people will say the same thing, and even now in the northwest.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And then the second reason was, I point blank asked them, if you don't get this money, do you have enough money to complete your project? And the answer multiple times was yes. And I looked at the rest of the council. I'm like, why are we doing this?
So then why are we doing this? Why are we giving money?
They have $35 million. Why are we going to give our taxpayer money to something that doesn't need it? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's illogical. That fell on deaf ears.
It apparently did. You guys were outvoted 5-2 to give that grant to the Delores Huerta Foundation. They tried to say, oh well, we're not going to use it for some of our programs. Which, I mean, when you think about it, yeah. We're not giving them, they can say, well, we're not using the $300 you gave us for the program, but now they're freed up essentially $300,000 that they can use for supporting campaigns, whether that's Andre Gonzalez's campaign or a different assembly person or somebody else running for Congress, if that's what they so choose to do now.
Yeah, and the scary thing about that is that it's a 501c3 organization, and they're not supposed to be engaging in any political activities at all. So I don't understand how that happens, but yeah,
I don't get it either, Councilman. Why do you think your other council members voted the way they did?
I have a lot of reasons behind that, but I believe in integrity and not speaking out of the side of my neck, and so I'll keep some of my speculations to myself. But I know that these are conversations that have been had outside of council, and this was a surprise to me last week when I heard it was getting put on the agenda. And last night there was a ton of there was a lot of emotion in the room, and a councilman mentioned that there was opposition last night, but there's never been any opposition to any of the grants that have come before. And he listed off all these grants, but there's
I have the audio. I'll play it later as councilman. But yeah, I know what you're referring to. Go ahead.
But here's the truth. They don't come to council unless it's over $100,000, and all of the grants he rattled off were under that, and so they never came to council. And if you look at, since I've been on, I have voted against every grant program there was, except for one exception, and that was Moo Creamery. And they were moving into buying a building instead of renting a building, and they employ a lot of people, and I thought that would be all right for the city, even though I still begrudgingly don't accept the rule of the grant program and how it's set up. It just it's a lot of political grandstanding. I went about it from a fact perspective. I didn't try and attack anyone's character. I don't think that's how I'm going to win, being in the minority on the council right now. And I hope that truth would prevail. And unfortunately, it did not.
I saw I think it was a photo of you. Did you go down and speak to Miss Delores Huerta yourself?
Yes, and here's the thing, JR. I'm not a coward, and I was never raised to be that way. I'm not going to run my mouth or vote against you or say something about you and not give you an opportunity to look at me in the face and shake hands, and I can explain my perspective, and I'll hear your perspective, because it's just respect. And I said, I respect your opinion in fighting for what you believe in life, and I hope that you will also respect me in fighting for what I believe in is right. And I believe in fighting for all constituents in the city of Bakersfield. And there was a few other conversations, but I'm not going to run from confrontation. I don't think it needs to be that way. I think that we can have a conversation, and if you're going to hate me, I'm going to give you the truth behind why you should hate me. And if you're going to accept and respect me the same way that I do you, then we can move on. I think it's all a part of trying to create some type of unity in Bakersfield. And I went out, and after I voted no, and spoke my piece and let her know where I was coming from, and I don't think she liked it very much, but
I was gonna say, what do you feel like her response was? Did she receive what you had to say?
Well, here, this is kind of what it boiled down to for me. I'm a first generation American on my dad's side, son of an immigrant. My dad came here, worked his butt off, and built what we have now with the rest of our family. And it was thanks to my mom, who's not she's been here for, just hardworking people. I've always been in the minority. I'm the only Persian person sitting in there, but I'll never make it about that at all. I'm like, everybody in our city deserves to be fought for, not just specific things. And when she brought up something and it rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, and I just spoke to that, and I said, well, how should I react differently because I'm the only one in here, or I'm the minority on council? It didn't make a whole lot of sense, and it didn't sit well with me, and so I had to speak that piece out. But we shook hands, and I went back up to the dais and proceeded on with my business.
That's why I respect you, Councilman. I've gotten to know you since you've gotten elected, and the one thing that I can say about you, you'll always get the truth from Councilman Bashirtash. I know you're pretty busy, sir, so I'm going to let you get out of here. But thank you so much for taking the time, and thank you for at least trying to protect our tax dollars last night.
Well, I'll leave with this. I got the snot kicked out of me in a lot of losses last night. It was a long meeting. But I tell you what, this morning when my kids were already in bed when I got home, first day of school, didn't get to see them after school. But this morning when they woke up and they came and they said, Dad, we're proud of you. I'm like, that we don't, just because we're in the minority, just because you're not going to win doesn't mean you fight for what's right.
Yeah, and that
does remind yourself that day in and day out.
Yeah, it's worth the fight, and yeah, you get up and you fight another day, and sometimes you lose, and you can accept that, but you keep on keeping on, right?
That's right. You never give up. Fight the good fight.
That's right, and you're fighting the good fight, sir. Thank you again for coming on. We'll talk to you later, all right?
I appreciate you, brother. Have a great day.
You too. Councilman Zack Bashirtash. Got to go to a break. Give you my thoughts on the other side. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio.
With SRN News,
99, Keith Peters
You
here in
guys ready to hear the
Washington.
audio?
California Governor Gavin
You
Newsom
got
is
the
calling
audio
for
that
a
he was
special
talking about,
election on
where
November
Andre
4th to
Gonzalez.
introduce new U.S. House maps. The goal is
Sometimes
to
I
win
just think
5
he's
more
just
Democratic
he
seats.
thinks he's
This move
smarter than he
responds to
actually
Republican
is.
efforts to gain
He really
5
does.
seats in
He
Texas.
thinks
State
he's
lawmakers need
so
to declare the
brilliant.
special election, and they plan to do
We'll
so
give it
next
up.
week.
I don't want to.
Democrats plan to release the maps on Friday, and they require
Oh
approval from
man,
lawmakers and voters. The Justice Department says it will seek the death penalty against a
Mr.
member of the
Bashirtash
cult-like
is
Zizians group accused of killing a U.S. Border
good
Patrol
man.
agent in Vermont. The announcement is the latest example of the Trump administration's push for more federal executions. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 11 points, the Nasdaq dropped 2, the S&P 500 up by 2. More at srnnews.com.
From
The for real, these
KERN
Skittles are like crack.
newsroom, your live and local news update on News
They're
Talk
freeze-dried, so they're like
96.1
popped.
and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A former Arbonne City employee is set to spend the next 6 months in jail. This after pleading no contest to illegally accessing police data. Jasmine Garcia, who was a property and evidence technician, was reportedly caught accessing and copying data from her police computer without permission. The data was a picture of Councilman Danny Horton with cuts and bruises he got after a fight with his sister, Jocelyn Horton, who is the city planning commissioner. Cal City community members were outside City Hall on Tuesday night to protest what could be the largest migrant detention center in the state. Some residents demand action from local, state, and federal officials. The mayor says that the city is in no position to stop them. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Mark your calendar, Saturday, October 11th for the 6th annual Bakersfield Brunch Fest at the Kern County Fairgrounds. Your all-inclusive ticket gets you access to an assortment of brunch bites, paired with bubbles and mimosas, beer, wine, cocktails, and spiked seltzers too. Bakersfield Brunch Fest is brought to you by Mango Cart. There are a limited number of early bird tickets at a major discount on sale now. Go to BakersfieldBrunchFest.com. Secure your spot for a brunch experience you'll never forget. Bakersfield, you can brunch with us.
Hey y'all, I'm Mia the Mosquito. West Nile, that was me and my girls. You leave water out, we move in, making millions of eggs. Bless your heart.
Stop mosquitoes before they bite. Visit kermosquito.com. No mosquitoes, no problems.
Friday edition, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show. We will take you into the weekend with all of the drama surrounding a big, huge, monumental Donald Trump meeting with Vladimir Putin to potentially discuss a ceasefire and an end to the war between Ukraine and Russia. We will have all of that with you. You won't want to miss it. Friday, taking you into the weekend on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Armstrong and Getty Show. Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the JR Show.
Welcome back. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. I want to thank Councilman Zack Bashirtash for coming on the show. I know he's a busy, busy man. He was kind enough to take some time out of that schedule to talk to you guys and answer some questions about last night's meeting. $300,000 to the Delores Huerta Foundation. You heard Mr. Bashirtash alluding to some of the comments made by not only Delores Huerta, but our favorite city councilman, Mr. Andre Gonzalez, who honestly, I think he thinks that he's smarter than he actually is. So when he starts talking, he in his head, he goes, "Man, I'm sounding so brilliant right now. I am just the smartest guy in the room." And my daughter, my poor daughter, we were sitting at home. I think it was the earlier meeting that I was watching on YouTube, and she's sitting there next to me. And Andre was about to talk, and I started like laughing or something. I can't remember. She's like, "Dad, why do you do that?" I said, "Just listen." Every other word or every other sentence starts with I, or me. Just listen. And she did. And she got about 4 or 5 sentences in, and she looked over at me like, yeah, you're right, Dad. There's a lot of eyes in me whenever he opens his mouth. But I swear, because he started to rattle off, he was talking about how this is a great thing and how this lot has been empty for so long, which makes me go, well, it's your ward councilman. Why has it been empty for so long? What's the problem? And then he started to say, you know, this isn't the first time we've given money to people, and and then began the list. And I almost want to use this against him when he runs, because if you've ever wondered where exactly our Measure N money is going, if you've ever had the slightest thought of how have we seemed to have blown through so much money, and really there's not much. We heard Councilman Bashirtash refer to this audio I'm about to play. It's great. It's Andre trying to make an argument for what he thinks is really going on here. Here is our favorite councilman, Andre Gonzalez, with the list of where our Measure N money has actually gone.
It was stated that we are picking and choosing who gets grants and who does not. Let me just state some facts.
Go ahead.
We had an apartment project.
Yeah.
With whom we partnered, and we coordinated the timing of city
Let's all do the math
infrastructure for
together, guys.
stormwater
Let's add this
and
up.
street repaving to match their construction timeline. Woolworths came back. They are
That's
upgrading that facility. We provided a
$250,000 to Woolworths.
$248,000 facade improvement grant. Bakersfield Memorial Hospital on 34th Street received $151,000
to
repave their sidewalks. Jin Sushi received
Jin Sushi.
$151,000 grant to improve and upgrade their outdoor sidewalk dining areas. There is a group on 19th Street that owns a property that received $500,000 for a large facade project and millions for the Complete Streets project that we're doing on 18th and 19th Street. Another project on 19th Street that received $774,000 for a large facade project. And again, will benefit from a multi-million-dollar investment we're making on 18th and 19th Street. And yet
what else have you
another
spent our money
development
on?
Wall Street and 19th Street that's receiving $123,000 large facade project. And I could go on.
You should.
Long Realty received a $223,000
Maybe you shouldn't.
EOA
Maybe you
grant.
shouldn't go on.
DV Therapy
You're not doing yourself
$99,000.
any help
First
here.
Union Community Church received $99,000. Amestoy Hotel received $170,000.
Yeah.
Pacific Tire and Steel received $114,000. The Arts
$114,000.
Council of Kern
Art
County
Council,
received $116,000. The Gentleman received $93,000. Task Strength received $99,000. The Garden Church received $99,000.
Oh, it's a church.
Kerntown Motel received $90,000. Flourishing Art received $99,000. And BB&A Construction received $99,000.
90. Did anybody else get the math on that? Does anybody else add up the total that Andre just listed as to what he's been spending your Measure money on? Did y'all catch that? And again, he thinks he's smarter than he actually is, because he thought that was helping him prove his point, when all he did was each time he listed another place that got so much freaking money, it just pissed me off even more. I can't even do the math. I wrote them all down. Places are receiving $774,000. And like Councilman Bashirtash said, and it's only if your business is in a certain area. So the whole city doesn't even get to benefit from this. I mean, I'm just looking at 500,000, 774,000, 250,000, 170,000, 151,000, 150,000, 223. These, we're just going to play that every time somebody says, "Hey, JR, do you know what they spend our Measure money on, our Measure N money on?" Say, "Yeah, Andre told us." And then he tried to allude to it. This is why he was making this whole statement. He dragged out all these numbers again because he thinks he's smarter than he actually is, to make a point of what he didn't exactly say what he thought was going on. Here is our favorite city Councilman Andre Gonzalez.
And isn't it funny that after
No, it's
all
not
of these
funny.
grants that we approved over
It's
the
not
years,
funny.
nobody who came to spoke in opposition to this project spoke in opposition to any of those?
Oh, I've been speaking.
Which makes me think that it has very little to do with the actual
Really?
amount of money. It's something to do with something else.
What's something?
And so that is very,
What's something,
very
Andre?
concerning to me. And I want to bring us back though to the whole point. The whole point of this expenditure, it's to help continue incentivize downtown Bakersfield.
So what's that something, Andre? What exactly do you think is going on? And I sent a message. I text him. Don't think I won't. Don't think I won't put it on blast that I text you. Don't leave me on read. As the kids, is that what the kids are saying, Chris? He left me on read? Red? Whatever. Don't leave me on red, Andre. I know you got my message. I invited him on. So do you want to clarify those comments you made at a public meeting? What exactly are you insinuating here, sir? Because I'll tell you what, I spoke out against every single one of these. Every single one of them. Some of them are my friends. Some of them I know very well. Some of them might get upset with me because I speak out against them receiving money. Because just like the Delores Huerta Foundation, they have money to do this. The Delores Huerta Foundation takes in millions of dollars every single year. Councilman Bashirtash asked specifically, if we don't give you this money, do you still have money to finish it? The answer was yes. But that's not good enough. Not only that, but the developer was like, hey, in the future, do you think we can get this money on the front end instead of having to wait for it on the back end? Excuse me? You're lucky you getting any dang money anyways, fool. You shouldn't be getting a dime. Out of control. Spending $300,000. I said there was people there talking about spay and neuter that were begging for money. That actually benefits. Well, he's sitting up there giving campaign speeches because really the only one that benefits is himself. Like I said, everything he starts with I, me. Look I was at this picture. Oh, look at me in this picture. And every event that he shows up to that really he has nothing to do with, like the success or the accomplishment of it, he has to speak. Dude's been running for office ever since he was on the Bakersfield City School District. So he's invited, and anybody that can hear me that wants to let him know, let me check. Just in case, sometimes my notifications don't go through. Just want to make sure. 661-842-5376, 661-842-KER. And we also have some audio. This is long. I'm sorry. It's long. You know, when I spoke in front of City Council, I showed up believing I was going to have 3 minutes. It was only during the meeting, and it's been that way ever since that day. Did they say, you know what? We're going to go ahead and cut y'all down to 2 minutes. Unless, of course, you're Delores Huerta, and then you get, well, it's Delores. We're gonna she's old. We're just gonna let her just keep going. My girl went almost 3 minutes. Now I'm gonna stop this. Just pause it when I call for it to pause, Chris, because I gotta just comment on some things in between here. But here is the president of the Delores Huerta Foundation, Miss Delores Huerta.
My name is Delores Huerta, and I am a resident of Bakersfield.
Wow.
And I just want to say that this building is going to be a great asset to Bakersfield.
Isn't
right
it?
now, if you go by that area, if you went by that area before, it was an eyesore. It was an empty lot. There were a lot of homeless people that were hanging out there. And so this is really going to be.
Hold on. Just pause right there, Miss Huerta. This was a torn up lot that I guess, last time I checked, Andre, you've been a city councilman for 8 and change. This is the start of your 3rd term. And you're barely deciding that you want to revitalize this lot now? I mean, they're admitting how incompetent you are as a councilman, pointing out that there's a ton of these. But we're just going to go ahead and let Ms. Huerta continue. Here is Delores Huerta from last night's meeting.
Of the city of Bakersfield. And I just want to say to everybody, there is not $1, not $1
this is good.
that is coming to the programs of the Delores Huerta Foundation. Okay? Not $1.
Okay.
Not that we're not proud of our programs.
No.
You know, and I'm not going to I could give you a whole litany of the work that we've done here in Bakersfield and Curry County.
Si se pueda!
I mean, we vaccinated 12,000 people against COVID.
Oh.
You know,
yeah.
We kept people safe.
Thank you.
We actually signed up tens of thousands of people for the census.
Hold on, pause
so
that.
that we could get money.
You did what? You signed up tens of thousands? I'm sorry. We should all be concerned if the United Farm Workers and Delores Huerta are rounding up tens of thousands of people to be counted in the census. I'm just saying, that's a little concerning. But I could see how that would be a great program for certain people. Continue, Ms. Huerta.
So that we could get money to come into Curry County.
Voters' money, same difference.
For the programs that we need, you know? So we are an asset to the county, and we're very proud of the work that we've done. But again, I want to repeat.
Yes.
Not $1.
Not $1
of this money.
You give us 300,000. That frees up the other 300,000, so we can use to do that.
Not $1 of this money.
We can petition outside of Valadeo's office. No.
Yes, it's true.
It's true.
I've had over 20 arrests.
20 arrests.
Disobedience.
Oh my gosh.
And because of the work that I've done, I don't take any money from the foundation either. I am a full-time volunteer as the president of the Delores Huerta Foundation.
Well, how do you make a living then?
How do I live?
How?
Well, I live on the money that I get from a beating that I received in San Francisco from the police when we were protesting.
I shouldn't be laughing.
Then candidate for President George Bush, because he said there was nothing wrong with pesticides. We know pesticides kill many, many people, especially farm workers, okay?
Especially, yes, okay.
So this is what I get. I get $2,000 a month from the city of San Francisco, plus my Social Security.
Pause it right there. Pause it right there. Pause it right there. She gets $2,000 plus her Social Security. That's what she's claiming she lives on. Now, I looked it up because I was just curious, and somebody sent me a message last night that said, hey, JR, How much? Because I can't find it. How much exactly is Delores Huerta worth? That's a great question. So I looked it up, and Chris, if you can, Google it for me too, because I want to make sure I'm pulling up some of the same information there. Delores Huerta, make sure we spell it right. Net worth. Let's see. How much is Delores? Well, exact figures vary. Huerta's net worth is estimated between $2 and $5 million. It's a lot of money for $2,000 in Social Security a month. Somebody needs to check her W-2. I'm just gonna say, because that's a lot of money to have inside of your bank account if you're only pulling in $2,000 from a settlement and some Social Security. But I'm sure there's speaking engagements somewhere in there that she makes a pretty penny off of. I don't know. I'm only assuming. Don't sue me. And if you look at the nonprofit, the Delores Huerta Foundation, they have $20 million in assets. But yet they're coming hand in hand for $300,000 after they've already gotten money from the state for the exact same building. We'll finish hearing from Ms. Huerta because in case you didn't realize, it gets better. How old is Ms. Huerta again? Because my goodness, she was starting to just go drift out there just a little bit. We'll finish hearing from Ms. Huerta, the president, non-paid president of the Delores Huerta Foundation. $2,000 a month and plus my Social Security. That's all I have to live on, said the millionaire. Allegedly, according to some. Got to get to a break. More after this. It's the JR Show. It's Current Radio. We'll be right back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Maybe the biggest event in the world we'll be talking about on the next Armstrong and Getty show. Trump and Putin getting together. There have been new revelations every day.
And how big city police departments, maybe yours, systematically
Yes, Andre is race baiting.
crime
That's
to make
exactly what
themselves
Andre
look
is doing,
better.
right?
The evidence has been heard
That's
in
exactly
open
what he's
court.
doing.
We'll have that and all the news of the day. That's what we do on the next Armstrong and Getty show.
Noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hi, I'm Rick Sorcy, certified kitchen and bath designer and owner of Stockdale Kitchen and Bath. When it comes to remodeling your kitchen or bathroom, you deserve a process that's personal, precise, and as stress-free as possible. That's why I personally designed every project with you using state-of-the-art three-dimensional software so you can see exactly what your new space will look like even before construction begins. No guesswork, no surprises, just a clear vision brought to life.
Today.
And I believe in guiding you through every step of the process. I
up.
shop with you. Cabinets, countertops, fixtures, so you get the perfect combination of style and function. We work with top quality American-made
I think it's something we all can agree on, right? Am I crazy for thinking that? Am I crazy for thinking that
beauty.
we all don't want to do this? And I'm being quite honest. I'm almost thinking about starting a petition. Just say, you know what? Let's just repeal Measure N. If you guys want to come back to the voters and redo Measure N after we repeal it, we'll be more than willing to listen to you. But there's going to be a lot more restrictions on where this money goes because we are not getting what we signed up for. Was she married to Cesar? Joshy, no, she wasn't married to Cesar Chavez. Or his brother? Maybe. I don't think so. I would tell you what I heard about her and Cesar Chavez, but I might get in trouble. I'll just be like Andre and allude.
Plus tax and license, zero security deposit, 10,000 miles. MSRP 28,513. Bid number 292-160. Code SRA 03.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Silver Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans.
Zach is too nice. I love him. I call him Badass Bashirtash. He's the only one that probably has a positive nickname so far. But he's a little too nice. He does, and I get it. He's got to work with these guys. He's got to play nice and be nice, and he doesn't exactly go along to get along. And he's going to vote no when he feels like that's what he needs to do. And it's probably going to end up hurting him in the long run as far as trying to get things done for his ward, because the other ones will now stack against him every time. And that's unfortunate. But that's just the truth. That's the sad state of politics. I think we got some phone calls. Welcome back. It's got to hurry up. I ain't got much time here. I want to get to some phone calls. Who you got on the line, sir? Dave, what's on your mind, sir? Go ahead, Dave. You got the floor, man.
We need to find out how much money and how often money has been contributed to these city councilmen from the SEIU and the UFW in their re-election campaign.
I already knew where you were going, Dave. I'm saying the same thing. We need to, not just the UFW and the Delores Huerta Foundation. How much do they contribute to Andre Gonzalez's campaign? And they go around and raise the hand of the fair-haired girl, man, Pre-Core. She will tell you she's a product of Delores Huerta.
Received a dime from either one of those, from her foundation, the SEIU, or the UFW, to recluse themselves from voting on.
Yep, that's a conflict of interest. You're absolutely right, Dave.
Okay, so next up, she portrays this huge picture how she went out and registered all these people.
Scary.
Okay, yeah, well, let's look at the big picture. Okay, under the census, illegals are counted in that census.
Yes, they are.
And they contribute to the number of seats in Congress.
Yes, they do. I know Trump's been talking about changing that.
It needs to be changed yesterday because of the actions that Governor Newsom took today in retaliation to what's going on in Texas.
And trying to redistrict. Yep.
Complete, utter BS.
I'm with you, Dave.
Okay, so this is just unbelievable. Newsom accepts money from the UFW and the SEIU. SEIU is one of the largest contributors.
Oh, yeah.
So in turn, he turns around and gives the broke-ass state of California, turns around and writes Delores Huerta
Checks.
$7 million
Yep. Yep. And then she wants to come to the city and ask for $300,000 more. I
$5 million in that foundation.
Yep.
And starving to death on $2,000 a month. Yet she has a net worth between $3 and $5 million. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was more than that.
You're preaching to the choir, Dave. Not only that, but there was a few people that spoke for this that are millionaires themselves. And not one of them said, hey, I'll fund it. I'll step up to the plate. I support Delores. We can do this with private donations. Not one of them. And I'm talking about very well-paid people in this community. JR@currentradio.com. You know where to find me on Instagram and all the places. Don't act like I'm hiding. Come at me. I got receipts. Got to get out of here. Stay tuned for the Ralph Bailey Show. Lily, Dad loves you. She was married to Richard Chavez, Cesar Chavez's brother. He taught her the game before passing in 2011. I don't doubt it, Joshy. Hey, you guys be good. Thanks for hanging out. Share this, share today's show. Share the segment with Zach. Get it out there. Get the info out there. We need people to hear it. We need people to know. So I appreciate you guys listening today. I'm out.